Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this video. I have been away from YouTube for quite a bit. I'm very well aware. There's been so much going on, but I won't bore you with the details. But it's just incredibly good to be back. It's so good to upload another video. I've been meaning to do it. I promise you, it's been in my heart and my intention. I just had so much going on that, I had to put YouTube right to the back burner. So now that I am back, quite a few moments later, weeks, probably months, maybe, um, I just want to share a couple of videos that will sort of have the same theme. And the theme will be Corporate 101. Okay. When I was just thinking, what kind of content do I want to come back with in the short term, in any case, I realized that there's probably a lot of value that I can add around just talking about the corporate scenario. I know that a lot of you who may be watching are employed within a corporate context, and I know there is so much that arises in the corporate environment where you just really want to call a friend and be on some, can you help me? What is going on? How do I navigate this? And so I want to be that friend that you can rely on for just a little bit of insights. These are tips and tricks that have worked for me. I am in no way claiming to have arrived, but I have over the years gathered enough experience that I think puts me in a position to be able to, offer some advice and a little bit of help. Okay, so over the next few weeks, every video I upload will really just have a different topic that tackles different corporate challenges. I won't get ahead of myself right now and tell you what they are, but definitely it's all going to be so exciting. And most importantly, I hope that it helps you navigate, the different things that you'll have to face in the work environment as you progress and as you reach for your height, for bigger heights or greater heights, and for your dreams. Okay, so today's video, drum roll, the topic we'll be tackling is how to integrate into a new work environment. Okay, so you are the newbie at whatever level that you'd be coming into a new environment in, but how do you navigate that space? What are the first things that you do when you arrive in that new work environment? I know a lot of us are working from home now, but I think the principles still apply. How do you integrate yourself? What do you do to fit in, or maybe not to fit in, but to stand out? What are the things that you do that really also set you apart? What are the sort of hygiene factors, the etiquette things, like the sort of basic things that you have to comply with? Okay. So you are new in company X at whatever level. So here are some of the tips. First and foremost, I would say that you need to really be purposeful about learning the culture of the organization. Hopefully by the time you join, you are aware of the culture. But I know that during the interview process, a lot of what employers do, they'll kind of paint the culture in a scenario or in a way that will be appealing, and in a way that they think you might want, in a way that they think it is what you want to hear, right? So they'll say all the wonderful stuff, but I think for your own interest, now that you're in there, you really need to start to learn the culture and understand the culture, so that you can then begin to find yourself and a footing within that culture. So is it a high-paced culture? Is it a slower paced culture? Is it an environment that believes in family, or is it an environment that believes in sort of just work till you drop? Those are all the things that you need to know, so that you can begin to navigate yourself from a culture perspective. The second thing is that, who are your key stakeholders? Whilst everybody is important within a work environment, and everybody deserves your respect, and everybody needs to, see you as a colleague that is easy to work with, fits into the culture, and just has sort of the basic things checked from a work perspective, you would have stakeholders that are important uniquely to you, whether you're in finance or you're in HR or you're in marketing. Find out who your key stakeholders are so that you know how to navigate those relationships well, and over and above knowing who they are, take it upon yourself to know their personalities. So how do they like to be approached? Remember, you're the one who's new here, so you're the one that's going to have to actively go after people, pursue them. You're the one that's going to have to build the relationships. So also don't be that person that sits back and thinks they're going to come to me, they need me. Yes, they'll need you because of the function you fulfill, but you're going to need them more because they've got intel that is valuable to you, because they've, for just by virtue of the fact that they have been there for longer than you. So know your stakeholders, know how they like to work, how they like to be approached. What I often found is that when you're new, there's going to be a couple of people for whatever reason that might give you a bit of who's she, who's he, they're also trying to suss you out. As much as we're adults, sometimes there are just so many childish behaviors and tendencies within the corporate environment. So know who those people are. Know that there'll be a little of sussing out, and oftentimes you might have to rise to the high level and be the one that assumes more maturity. So when you can see they're sussing you out and they're not as kind as they should be, you are kinder, you pursue them, you listen attentively to what they say and the things that are meaningful to them. Then maybe in conversations, as you are building a relationship, you bring up those things. So how are your children? And if you've sort of gone to a point where you heard their names, mention them by name. How's your husband? Oh, they've got cats and dogs, etc. That is also how you begin to build a rapport with your colleagues, because let me tell you, in a work environment, no matter how hard you work, if you are not a likable person, a person that people want to work with, that can hinder your growth. Because oftentimes when promotion comes, your boss or the people that want to promote you will ask the people around you, the people that you work with, what kind of person are you? And if you've got low emotional intelligence, no matter how capable you are in your job, you might find that becomes a hindrance. So what I'm trying to teach you here is just to say, have a little bit more emotional intelligence so that you can navigate the environment to your benefit. It may look like you're moving backwards. It may look like you are putting in more effort than you should, especially from a people management perspective. But trust me, it works out for your good. Okay, and so that is one aspect. The other aspect, and it's obviously one of the most important, is to also get to know the work. What I found is that most people want to sort of come in guns blazing, wanting to change sort of the processes and how things are done, and want to improve. But how do you improve on something that you have not taken the time to study? Because maybe you want to fix something that is not broken. So one of the things you need to undertake is to learn the work, learn the processes, learn how things are being done there before you want to bring on your skills that have been acquired from previous workplaces and from all the reading and research and studying you've done. Learn the processes, because you'll be in a position to speak on improvements better, because you will understand what the current flaws and shortfalls are. So don't come in there and immediately be that person that says, no, that's not the best way to do it, that shouldn't have been done that way. Be an individual that listens and that is attentive, and not assuming that the people that have been there for years have been doing it wrong, and suddenly you're the knight in shining armor that's going to save the day. And perhaps that might be the case, but give yourself time to build the rapport, to learn the processes, to learn why things are being done in that way before you begin to suggest improvements or implement improvements. You'll find that even sometimes where it looks like there's madness and things aren't being done in a great way, there is method to that madness. And so you need to understand, because every culture and every environment is unique, and whilst what you want to implement may have worked in your previous workplaces, it may not work within that environment because it is unique to the one you come from. So those are some of the key things that you just ought to navigate to make you a little bit more successful as you integrate into a new work environment. And then also just basic things like, knowing the sort of the colleagues that you work with within your department. Now, this is not just stakeholder management, but the people in your department, the people that are close to you, the people that you're going to spend the most time with. Who are there? Learn as much as possible about them. Offer yourself as someone who's a team player. A lot of people come into environments as well, and they want to sort of assume some level of superiority, want to fight for the boss's attention, and I've found in my career that what you're naturally capable at and the skills that you've harnessed will show themselves up, and not so that you can be seen to be better than the next, but just so that your contributions and what you can contribute to the team is seen. So you don't need to be fighting for the limelight. If you're diligent and you do what you ought to do, naturally that'll come to you. So don't spend time trying to fight colleagues for the limelight and for the attention. Rather spend time on being a team player, on developing that rapport with those that are close to you, because those are the colleagues that'll make you coffee when you're busy and bogged down with deadlines. Those are the colleagues that'll offer to quickly print a document for you as you run off to a meeting. So it's very, very important that you're also as amiable as possible and as nice a person to work with as possible. So I've always believed that it's important to be nice, just like it is nice to be important. So let's just make sure that we're always balancing and navigating those things, right? Because corporate can be a nightmare, but I think sometimes we have to introspect and look at our contribution into why we might not be having as pleasant a journey as we would like to have. Because sometimes, as you're pointing fingers at this one, it's my boss, it's my colleague, that's the reason I hate my job, a couple of fingers are pointing back at you, meaning, what are you doing to improve? You need to be the change that you want to see. Because sometimes you're stuck, especially now we're in a pandemic. It is very difficult to find a job or new employment. So you've got to make the environment that you're in, that you're blessed to be in, because it is a blessing to have employment at this time. Make it work for you. Change yourself, change your attitude, reinvent the way that you're doing things, to create a more exciting and a more pleasant environment for you. So I hope that these little nuggets will help you integrate nicely into your workplace. And I think even if you've been there for a couple of years or for a period, it's okay to change. You can change. You can sort of bring on a new lease to life and just reinvent yourself. So don't think that these are tips for new people within an environment. I think it's tips for anyone that just says, listen, I think I might need to reinvent the way that I've been doing things. So I hope these are helpful. Comment down below in the comment section. Just let me know, like, what other tips could you share with us? Like, what to do when you are new in an environment, or when you're just trying to create a work environment that is more positive for you and for those around you. So give us your comments. Let us learn together. And I'll read those, and I'll definitely do my best to respond. Our next video, we will be carrying on with the Corporate 101 theme, and the next topic is equally as exciting. And really my aim is to say, let us thrive, let us not endure our work, let us not feel like, oh, that place again, oh, I'm going there again. But how do we really just take on a positive attitude? How do we learn the tips and tricks that'll make the environment more pleasant and more exciting? So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will definitely see you on the next one, because I'm going to be trying this consistency thing. Okay, thank you for joining Inspired Living with Tembeka Mabaso.